This is main FGO main story, but I did throw in Gil, Darnik, and what's his name, Kirei. Other than that, everything else here is FGO, but those are like three villains that are worth mentioning. Gil in particular, because I just wanted to like shit talk him because I hate him as a villain because he's garbage. So let me show you what we're working with here. Here's our list. Yeah, in no particular order. There is no Lost Belt 6 in this, no. I've not cleared Lost Belt 6, so I can't give a solid estimation on what I think the villain of Lost Belt 6 is. Yeah. So, I was initially gonna put the fluffy lad on here, but, you know. The Saint Quartz is representative of Gacha, just so you know. That's what the Saint Quartz is. The Saint Quartz is Gacha. Also, just because Tier List Maker does this, here's a plug to my Twitter if you want to go and just, you know, let me like pictures of anime girls and cats so you can see them. Yeah, no, the Saint Quartz is the Gacha, 100%. Okay, so yeah, in case you didn't know, I didn't know this until I was finding images for this tier list. This is not representative of his placement. This is an actual Rio drawn Sooter. As we don't know what Sooter looks like below like the pectoral region or the abdomen. The fact that it's canon, that it is canon now that he has tiny little chicken legs. So we're gonna work with that. But for now, let's get started. So let's start off with Gilgamesh, who I'm going to immediately put into D tier because I think he's one of the worst written villains in media. This is, of course, Fate Stay Night Gilgamesh. He is about as milquetoast bland of a villain as you can get, with his only real defining factor being that he's hot. And he has like that arrogant personality that really tickles some people and, you know, their parts. But outside of that, like he's exactly, that's his only thing. He's hot. He's hot. That's it. There's nothing else about Gil. He's hot, and his voice actor does a really good job with him, and I can respect that. I have respect for what they do with Gil. I do not respect him as a villain. And that's the argument I always hear with people who talk about Gilgamesh, is that he's hot. Yeah, hot more like hot garbage, that's where I'm at. He's just poorly written. He exists as the archetypical demon king, if that makes sense. He's the big bad that people need to come in and kill. It's just, ugh. Oh, Peepee Scar 420, thank you for the follow. What an amazing username. I don't know why the notification didn't sound, that's odd. Good thing I saw him in the chat. Calling out Gil like that? Look, Gil sucks as a villain. I really don't like him as a character either. I will say I really like what they do with him in Babylon. But this ain't Babylon. He's not a villain in Babylon. As a villain, he's terrible. As like a side character who's an arrogant dickhead, he's awesome. Okay, Darnik. For those of you who don't recognize Darnik, he is the main villain of... Well, He's initially the main villain of Fate Apocrypha until it becomes the priest. Darnik's okay. Like, at least he has a motivation behind what he's doing. But his plan is so convoluted. He does show up in the APOC collab as well, yes. I don't know, his plan is like so convoluted and weird that he comes off as like the guy who thinks that he's so much smarter than he actually is, because if I recall correctly, he just gets black keyed to death by Shiro in Apocrypha. He's just kind of an all-around bastard. So I respect him for the planning, and I respect him for actually being able to execute a lot of shit, and I respect him for merging with Daddy Vladdy. That's something I can put a lot of respect on that name. Yeah, he does get straight up Yorikobe. Speaking of Yorikobe, and because he actually has a motivation besides I am the strong guy, I'm gonna save him from being put into D tier. Kirei. Never fucking call Vlad like that ever again. You don't tell me how to live my life. Kirei. Kirei is a very good villain. Yeah, he's high A or S. He's solid. It's nice to have like a character that actually like plans shit out and pulls all the strings behind the curtain while appearing to be fairly unassuming while doing it. He's great. He's likable. He's like a horrible bastard, but you love to watch him be a horrible bastard. Yeah. He's a pretty metal dude. I like his motivation too, of just being. Isn't his motivation just praise the Lord? I'm trying to remember. It's something stupid like that, where it's just like, yeah, Jesus wouldn't approve of this. Fuck y'all. Someone remind me. It's been a minute since I watched Zero. He literally wants to watch the world burn. That's respectable. Me too. Yeah, he gets to stay there. How's the tiering gone so far? We've done 3 of them. None of them are FGO villains. Speaking of, we're getting into the FGO villains now. He gets off from seeing people suffer. Well, at least he knows what he likes. I like him better in terms of like the Fate Zero, Fate, Stay Night villains. He's one of the better ones. Who is the villain of... Does Prillia have a villain? Isn't the villain of Prillia like nobody? Oh, Drink Beer TV. Thank you for the follow. Welcome, welcome. Hope you enjoy your stay. Ainsworth? Is it? It's a Prillia OG. Okay, got it. The villain of Prillia is the author. I should have gotten a picture of him and put it in this. That would have been really funny. Darius Ainsworth. I don't even know who that is. So, got it. I thought the villain of Prillia was Chloe. I think that Chloe is. I mean, yay! Chloe's the predator of Prillia, not so much the villain. I guess that is a villainous thing to do. Thank you, Ultima the Catboy for the follow. Ultima 3 the Catboy for the follow. Welcome, welcome. Hope you enjoy your stay. Let's move on to Lev. The Lucky Charms man. I don't know. Yeah, B? I don't think he's B. I think he's like, I think he's about here with Darnik. Yeah. He's not as bad as Gil. But, I mean, he's technically the villain of, Shinjuku. Not Shinjuku, what the fuck? Fuyuki. He's technically the villain of Fuyuki, and he's the one who sets everything into motion. He's acting on the orders of somebody else, though, to do it. He did do a Tomoe-style front flip to launch Olga into the sun, into the Eternal Incinerator. So there is that. I don't know. But, like, he's so... I don't know. He's like weird. He isn't influential enough in my mind to like warrant it. He did kill everybody in Caldea though, which is something. His plan did get executed, and he does give the main character a huge motivation to like actually fucking do something. But you could say the same thing about Gilgamesh. What I wouldn't do to see Lev meet you. Yeah, right. Olga was not already dead when she was. I believe the actual lore is that she was thrown into the. I call it the Eternal Incinerator because you don't die in it. You just keep being You just keep living, being incinerated forever. But. So here's a fun fact about Olga. Olga actually supposedly made it out of... Hold on, let me find something real quick. This is a really cool thing I saw. I was like looking for things. Did you know that Olga has a canon 7 servants that she commands? Like, Olga straight up has, like, servants that she summons with official art of it. So, okay, let me ask you the question. Who do you think Olga commands? Give me your list. I'm interested. Just any servants. They were all evil serpents? Not necessarily. Are they? Hold on, let me take a look. Okay, yeah, all of them are... Well, there's 2 that I don't know if they're evil, but the rest of them I know for a goddamn fact are evil. Also, it's 6, not 7. Wait, who's she missing? She has a saber archer. She does not have a lancer. Yeah, let me... Yeah, Olga's canon servants are Maeve, Suzuka, Mephistopheles, Carmilla, Ku Alter, and Emiya Alter. Oh yeah, Carmilla is evil. Emiya, not Emiya. Ku Alter is evil. Carmilla is evil. Mephi is definitely evil. Maeve, I'm pretty sure, is evil. It's Suzuka. I don't know if she's considered. Is she new? Okay, Suzuka's neutral evil. What about Emiya? Where is this from? I don't know what the actual source on this, but this looks too good to be doctored. I got this image from the Tight Moon wiki. Let's get that off my screen. It's from the special called the FGO Lost Room. Oh, okay, gotcha. Chaotic Evil. Who'd have thought? Welcome. Yeah. Well, that's a side tangent and a half. Yeah, fun facts. So for doing all that, I think Lev is like low C. He's bordering on D, but I'm just gonna say this right now. There's gonna be a lot of people in the D tier now that I'm like looking at this. Like a really decent amount. Mev isn't evil, she just needed someone to fuck, and that's why she did what she did. Clearly, we all know what needs to happen. I volunteer. Okay. Let's talk Altera. Now, this is not any Fate Extra related content. This is Septum Altera. Actually, let's do it. Let me arrange this stuff real quick. Wait, what was the third? There he is. There's the bastard. Okay, let's not talk about Altera yet. Let's talk about Dragon Witch. Jolter. Technically, this should be Giles, but much in the same way that I have Jason here instead of Medea Lily, I'm just gonna have I'm just gonna like combine both of them together because they operate as one singular unit, and they're the real figurehead as the villain for the entire time. Yes, the villain of Septum was Altera. Or at least that's the only villain I can remember, because she was the one who was walking towards everything, and that was the big thing. I'm saving for Jolter FGO Player 2017. No. I can't... I'm not factoring in attractiveness. Even though being hot is absolutely a villainous quality. Hot people are always evil. Never forget that. Okay, Jolter. She's like low C. She's not a very good villain. I will say this: the fact that they write her in such a way that makes her have to be like, she's fully aware of the fact that she shouldn't actually exist, and so in a way she's fighting for her own existence and just doing what's natural to her. I'm okay. Excuse me. I'm okay with that being her thing. That's true. Wanting to destroy France is a huge motivation. That is one I respect. But I don't think she can be higher than this. And this is going to be a pretty big trend for... Yes, the sprite in Orleans is different. Yeah, this is the perfect Gene Giles. Klidge, this is factually incorrect. I'm an asshole, which is an evil trait, and I look like a raccoon that got run over by a train. Well, I'm sorry about that for you. Who knows? Maybe you're not an asshole. Maybe you just think that you are. If evil, why hot comes to mind. Exactly. Not all evil people are hot. All hot people are evil. Correct. So yeah, I think she's about here. She's, like, okay. Altera is worse than Gil. Her whole, aspirations as a villain in Septum are, I am a machine of war, I come to kill people, which is fucking stupid. She and Gil have the exact same role, except Gil is at least fun to watch. Altera is not, so I'm just gonna drop her there. Yeah, her, exactly. Chase, this is the combination of both Jason and Medea Lily. For actually having a motivation beyond being told what to do, I'm willing to put them up this high. I just... the motivation that Jason has is that he's a fucking bastard. right, is that Jason is just a bad person. But what sells them together is the fact that we're not talking about Atlantis. Atlantis Jason is not Oceanus Jason. What sells them and gives them any points is the idea that Medea Lily is sick of his shit, but wants to still keep him around. I know that he remembers everything, but, you know, which is surprising. Servants aren't supposed to do that. He does have an amazing redemption arc. Yeah, that's what getting turned into a fucking hentai tentacle monster does to you, is you find the goodness in the world because you see everything through the perfect lens. You know what? Again, this is not just Jason, this is Jason and Medea Lily, but I do like your point, Kriv. No, he's... Lev is probably better. I would put that there. Okay, moving on. Tesla fucking sucks. He is a garbage tier villain. Okay, so I'm just gonna do this together because... Well, okay, on a technicality, the villain of London is Solomon. Because he's the one who you actually, like, show up with and you have to get rid of. And Solomon is probably the best part about London because he shows up, says, I could fucking kill you all if I wanted to, and doesn't. Which is, like, fucking classic shit, but still. Yeah. But the two villains of London who both arrived for the exact same express purpose. Tessa just summoned at the end of London, yes. Walter just shows up to get slapped by her daughter, exactly. Walter shows up to be a plot point with Mordred that no one remembers. And Tesla shows up because I believe his motivation is that he needs to electrify all the fog and destroy London because something Age of the Gods. What'd you miss? Not a whole lot. You can tell me if I'm anything wrong. I think your yawn perfectly describes the reason behind these two placements. Exactly. They're boring. They suck. They're not interesting. Like, how is it that the only thing that Tesla does in all of London is ramble on about how he wants to destroy everything? But it's like, I want to destroy the universe, but you had better not stop me. I'm climbing these stairs right now. You had better not stop me. Oh no, I've climbed yet another step of these stairs. Don't stop me. That's this whole thing, the whole time. Maeve SSS tier, her midriff gives me a reason to log into JP. Thank you for the bits, by the way. We'll talk about Maeve. Maeve is interesting, yeah. Let's move away from London because London is a horrible chapter, undeniably. London is the Agartha of the main set of chapters. Which fucking suck. Why do they always put servants I like in the worst chapters? Like, both Astolfo and Daon get shafted in Agartha. Mordred gets shafted in London. I was gonna say Napoleon, but I don't actually like Napoleon too terribly much. He's okay. Yeah, no, that's about it. Fuck those guys. Okay. I think Maeve is B tier. Personally. Oh yeah, Tamamo and Kentoki were in London because they needed an excuse to bring them into the story in any way so they could be put into the gacha. Also, shout out to other servants who appeared in London who have not gotten an animation update yet, i.e. Welcome to the Club Nursery Rhyme, who will never, ever get an animation update. Okay. Maeve is in B tier because I respect her motivation. She wants so badly for her ex to love her that she is willing to topple the entirety of everything. Now, is that a good motivation? Not at all. Is that a respectable motivation? Yeah, sure, I'll give it to you. Also, like, Maeve as a villain is, like, very, very divisive for me. Because I hate her. I despise her in every role that she plays because they write her to be the most hateable motherfucker. Yeah, she is she's the get under your skin type of villain, which is a good way to write a villain because it's like a non-generic like, I don't know. It's something that you don't see very often, and they pulled off very, very well with Maeve. And yeah, she appears a lot, does the same thing. Girl bosses it up. Yes, this is all up to date on. If you are up to date on everything released on NA, it is spoiler free. Which means if you have cleared Olympus, this is a spoiler free list. Moving on. Maeve is cool. She'll stay here. Moving on, we have the Lion King. Put Levin S tier because he's a literal cartoon. He is a cartoon villain, but cartoon villains aren't S tier. So, yeah, Lartoria is so boring. She sucks as a villain. She has no personality at all. And the thing, like, what you need to be a good villain, aside from like just being overwhelmingly evil and hated by everyone, but people still crave you, is you need to have a super good personality to go along with it. The best villains are the ones that you love to hate. You love to hate them. Like Kirei, you love to hate Kirei. Maeve, it's very divisive. A lot of people love to hate her. A lot of people just hate her. I'm kind of on the fence with it. She's really grown on me as the years have gone on, but she hates Ushi, who's my wife, and my wife doesn't like her, so I can't talk to her. Yeah, it's a whole thing. Yeah, Handsome Jack is a perfect example of that. He's a great villain. He's just a bastard. He's a bastard that knows he is a bastard that knows he's a bastard, so he acts like a bastard. It's perfect. Yeah. Actually, I'm gonna even drop it further down. You're probably down this way. Like, at the very least, you love to hate Jason. In fact, you actually probably down here, Christ. Because people love to hate Gil as well. Yeah, okay. You're not a good villain. Your motivation... So, let me explain to you the issue with writing a character the way how they wrote, Lancer Artoria. The issue with how they write her is that she has the god complex. She can no longer fathom what it is like to understand human beings. And as a result, they had to sacrifice everything potentially interesting about her in favor of giving her fat tits, which they knew they had to do, because if they just had normal Artoria acting like this, people would be like, I don't give a fuck. And then, of course, there's holes in that story as well of just, like, the Knights of the Round Table being summoned and being like, yeah, sure, we're going to follow this version of our king who's clearly fucking insane. It don't fly with me mentally. So, I'm going to just leave her there. I do not like her as a villain. I like Camelot as a chapter, though. Someone earlier said that Tristan was the real villain of Camelot, and that's true, 100%. To write a Lartoria well, she needs to constantly feel like an impossible object that threatens the protagonist. Right, and she got countered by a 1-star archer. Never forget that. Yeah. Yeah, sorry, the 1-star archer. Don't let me disrespect my man like that, because he does deserve better. Shout out to him being the only good part about the Camelot movies. Anyway, Gorgon. Yeah, Gorgon's about here. Gorgon's okay. She's not the worst, but she's okay.
Yay!
The lovely Rose 18, thank you for the follow. Welcome, welcome. Hope that you enjoy your stay. Yeah, Borgin. As for steak titties, no. I wish I could agree with you, but I can't. Much as I love snake titties. Yeah, no, Gorgon is probably the most memorable villain out of Babylon. I mean, Tiamat is as well. Tiamat's cool. Tiamat's really cool, actually. But Tiamat doesn't have anything really going for her villain-wise. The guy at the top of C is Darnik. He's the main villain of Fate Apocrypha. Well, sorry. He's the villain of Fate Apocrypha until Shiro becomes the villain of Fate Apocrypha. He's the guy who merged with Daddy Vladdy. Yeah, he's the Nazi. Yeah, Tiamat is a plot device. But yeah, let me continue with Gorgon real quick. Gorgon is another villain who you kind of love to hate, because the way how she is written is that she is doing what she has to because it's just in her nature, which is something I'm okay with that being a thing for a villain. Zoken is not in Fate Grand Order. And he's also not relevant enough in Fate Zero, I believe it is, for me to care. Like, he's okay, but meh. Yet, correct. I don't know. I want to keep. I think she's okay. Like, what she ends up doing, and she just is like an actual looming threat that shows that she's a looming threat, but also has like a personality thing. And the way how she ties back in with Anna is very, very good. That's very, very well done. Actually having a tie to a character that has to come and defeat them and is like the only one who can actually defeat them is a really good setup for a villain. So I really respect that. I actually probably like her better than Nev. Nev is all about that DeviantArt shit. Gorgon at least is into some classier stuff. Okay. Tiamat is a plot device. She and Gilgamesh have she and Gilgamesh actually are the exact same person in terms of like villain level. They're an enormous threat that has an insurmountable amount of power. That it takes a lot of people showing up and being like, hey, we actually need to like deal with this motherfucker. And pooling all their efforts together and learning and actually doing shit to fix them. Tiamat she doesn't really have a personality, but she's hot. And her ever-looming threat presence is actually something. Didn't Zoken appear in FGO when he was younger? I don't remember. I'm gonna be real with you, Chief. It's been a long time, and I don't recall that. Okay, Kingu. I think Kingu is probably the best of the villains in Babylon. I need like right here. Well, Kingu was someone, he already has something I like, which is that he's following his nature of being a weapon, and that he's just doing what he has to do, and he's following the commands of his mother, aka Gorgon, and then Tiamat, and he has the internal conflict of if he's actually doing what he's supposed to be doing. He like goes through that whole thing between being Kingu and Enkidu, which is a really, really fun spin that you can put on stuff. He does get backstabbed, and like that he has a full-on redemption arc. It's a really good thing when you can write in the short amount of time they give you in these chapters a full, you hate this character, you like this character, then you hate this character, then you really hate this character because of what he does to Ushi, and then you love this character because he's like actually has a comeback arc. So I like him a lot. I think he sticks around in A. I keep on saying he. Technically they're genderless because it ain't gay to love Clay. Okay. Geisha. Geisha, Geisha, Geisha. Actually, I probably should rank Solomon separately. Yes, so Geisha I actually would say is in S tier. He is... So... There's something there's interesting stuff about Geisha that it's in spoiler territory on JP. If you know, you know. And I do happen to know because people don't know how to keep their mouths fucking shut on main. I'm not calling anyone out. He's interesting. His motivation is to actually incinerate humanity, is that we've gone horribly astray, and that I believe he wants to reform into something different, which is a totally respectable decision. Greetings, how's it going? After we get his reason as to why he did what he did, Geisha is S. Exactly. And I can't go into that without spoiling shit, so I'm not going to. But his actual reasoning behind what he did is solid. Okay, Solomon. Solomon technically isn't a villain, but he's the one who appeared as the villain for the longest time. I believe that's in Lost Belt 6. Solomon, really, you know what? I am gonna consider Solomon a villain because he fucked everything up. He's the reason why we're in this mess. I'll rather burn the world down than spend another minute living among these. Exactly, that's his whole deal. So Solomon is the reason why everything got fucked up in the first place. So I think that's villain worthy, and Solomon's a really, really likable character as well. But how is he as a villain? He's probably not a good villain per se. He's probably he's better than Lev. I'd say he's about here. You know what, his plan was similar to Wodime, only he wanted to kill us and recreate humanity, then improve the current humanity. Exactly. We'll get to Woodman eventually. Let me really quick arrange this stuff. Put B here. Kiwawa here. These guys here. this guy here. Just gonna put you here, put you like here. Put this here. Where's my cat boy? Where's my cat boy? There he is. Okay. Demon God Pillars are boring and uninteresting. I don't like them. See, really? You know, it's hard to say. Barbados is S tier in our hearts. That's true. They do. They fill the gap of we need to fight something in this chapter that's like the big bad. And it's always a Demon God Pillar. I appreciate the fact that in some events and in the Epic of Remnant stuff that they do have some personalization given to them as to why they don't want to die and why they're doing what they're doing. But Demon God Pillars as a whole, I don't like as a concept. I mean, it fits the narrative fine. It fits the narrative perfectly, but that doesn't make them good villains. So, they're going to sit in D for me. BB is an S tier villain. Straight up. Her motivation is that she's a sadistic AI. That's it. That's what she likes. And she goes to extreme lengths to let everybody know that. And she treats everyone like shit. She acts like a shithead. She is the epitome of a villain that people love to hate. At least that's my thoughts on BB. I would be willing to drop her down to A if people disagree with me on that. But in terms of villains, she incorporates quite being the Demon King, while also being interesting in how she like goes about things, and learning of how she actually created the world in which she inhabits is super interesting. And how she manages all that shit as well. Now, I could put the fucking Bug on this list as well, and she would probably be right next to BB in terms of villains. No, she's not just a bitch. BB's A tier. If this was his Foxtail, it should be S. I'd be willing to drop her down to A. I have a little bit of a BB bias. Call it triple Bs if you want. Okay. Session Kiara. Kiwawa. The Horny Nun. Beast. This is supposed to be Beast Kiara, by the way. I don't think that she's S tier. She's interesting. I think she's definitely an interesting character. She's probably... I think that BB is more interesting as a villain than she is. A lot of what Kiara has going for her in FGO is that she is just strong, but also learning like how she became what she is and how she did. Oh wait, you know what? Actually, she's got better. These two are both so good. Like learning what happened with Emiya Alter and her, and like trying to be like, I don't know about that. She does want to fuck you to death. Y'all are just fucking horny. Just say you're horny. Just say. I'm not gonna judge you. You can just say that you're horny and that's why you want her high. I think that she's actually pretty well written as a villain, and the idea that the only way that we could beat her is by going through a time loop is super interesting. No, this is not... Well... So that's an interesting question. Should we include CCC as well in terms of being a villain? Because she's a villain in that as well. I don't know. I think she's fine here. She's pretty well written. I like her. Okay, nobody tell KP what I'm about to do to this guy. Actually, you can go ahead and tell KP. Old man is S tier, 100%. In terms of being a villain, he is insanely good about it. He has the fact that all of Shinjuku was his doing, and that he like thought all of that through. Playing through Shinjuku is essentially just playing through his trap, and the only reason that we lose in Shinjuku, realistically, is because of Deus Ex Machina. That's the only reason. They wrote such a perfect villain in that scenario that they had to be like, yes, you summon the souls of failed detectives, and they are the ones who are doing shit to the old man. Yeah, so yeah, there's just a lot of cool stuff going on with him. I do wish though that they had hit him better in the Shinjuku story, because it's kind of shitty. Because yeah, like they disguised Sherlock as Dante's, but like they make it very obvious who the villain is in Shinjuku. They could have just used a fucking giant ghost sprite or something. They did that for what's his name in Shinjuku? Not Shinjuku. I keep saying Shinjuku for everything. What's it called? My brain is melting. What? Help me. What's the name of the Musashi chapter? Somebody. Shimosa. Thank you. I don't know why I couldn't think of that. Yeah, no, he's great. I love him. He's one of the more enjoyable villains in FGO. Doughman. Doughman's pretty good. Doughman is really, really interesting because as a villain, he is, in my mind, he's a worse Moriarty. He's a stronger Moriarty in terms of like lore and shit, but no, this is only Shimosa. I've not read through Haikyuu either. I don't know. Maybe he's a better villain in Haikyuu. I know what he does in Haikyuu, but I'm sticking with Shimosa for this assessment of him. He's another one who like is pulling all the strings in the back and doing everything, and I love the idea that like he just has this very, very ominous reveal at the end of Shimosa of who he actually is.
Yay!
Pat58152, thank you for the follow. Welcome. Hope to enjoy your stay. And as the Lost Belts go on, you really get to know and hate him, but because he's hot, people love him. Yeah, he is the embodiment of... He's literally an evil jester who just whispers nothings into the king's ear to get them to do terrible, terrible things. And honestly, I really like that in a villain. I think it's a very, very, like, good quality to have. Hello, first time, love your YouTube. Hey, thanks, man. Appreciate that. Once again, fuck this clown. Yes. Shimosa gave us great servants like Old Man, Samurai, Bald Monk, and Shiro as a grandpa. Yes. It's the only version of Shiro I actually enjoy at any point. Sticking with the theme of Shimosa, we have Amakusa Shiro. And I want you to know I'm placing him here as well in terms of being a villain in Apocrypha. Because he does the exact same shit both times. No, okay, so he is high C, not D, because he actually has a motivation that I can somewhat respect, which I believe is that he's trying to... Oh, God. What is it again? He wants to, like, reinforce the... Have I watched Oath Under Snow? That Shiro is peak Shiro. I have seen Oath Under Snow. I still don't like Shiro. He's just a mediocre self-insert in every single Fate series. He's meant to be a character that everyone is supposed to love, and I have a thing against those kinds of characters. Especially when they end up being as milquetoast as Shiro tends to be. Hence why I didn't celebrate Shiro Day. But that's just, yes, people have told me that he's significantly better in the novels, and I have never read the light novel. And maybe I need to do that, because a lot of people say, yeah, he's a lot better in that. So if he is, I'll eat my words whenever I come across actually doing that. I probably can't stream that because it's porn. But, you know, you gotta be shitting me on Shiro Day. That's made up. Now, I went into my Discord and I told them I will allow you in my sacred domain to practice your holiday, but just know I will not be participating in the events. All holidays are made up? True. Yeah, his motivation is he just wants to get the Grail so that he can change the world to what he wants it to be, which is an okay thing, and his vision isn't the worst thing in the world, but it's still just kind of like, meh. I don't know, I don't like him. The best protag in Fate is Hakuno. Hakuno doesn't have a personality, though. The best Fate protagonist is Gudako. Not Gudao, Gudako in the Learning with manga. That's the best Fate protagonist. Followed up after that is the dude in Fate Redline, whose name I can't remember. The main character, Okita's master in Fate Redline, is really, really good. He's really well written. I like him a lot. Scheherazade. Kanata? Yes, Kanata. I like Kanata a lot. They didn't fuck, we don't know that yet. And if they have fucked, I didn't know that because I've not read the fucking light novel. Bazzet's a good protag as well, yes. So, people are saying F and E tier. God, it's so... Yeah, she's so hard to rate. Because her... Yes, this is Kirby music. She has so much potential to be such a good villain with such a good story and so much that could have gone right. And in fairness, she is the second best written character in Agartha, which is a really, really low fucking hurdle to jump over, but it is still there. Best, and I think I said this yesterday on stream, best written Agartha character is Wu by far. But I should have included Columbus on this list as well. But Columbus sucked as a villain. He was just like, he's not even a villain that you love to hate. You just hate him. He's just a bastard and you don't like him. There's nothing, you get nothing out of it. He's just a greedy dickhead. He's just Columbus is written as the epitome of every single human being on Earth that's like in a television show that you just want to kick. Like DW from Arthur. Or Dee Dee from Dexter's Lab. It's characters that just are like horrible shits and you can't do anything about it. Thankfully, you can kill him in Fate. But Cher, God. I'm gonna put her below Gil, because if I put Cher as a better villain than Gilgamesh, someone is gonna find my address and kill me, so I'm not gonna do that. Okay. Abby. Columbus is Armstrong from the Metal Gear Rising levels of billion. No. Because people love Armstrong. Senator Armstrong is actually really, really fun to watch because he's an insane dickhead, but he's not like totally off base. Like that's why people like him. Yeah, Armstrong is an amazing villain because like you can understand where Senator Armstrong is coming from. Columbus is not a good villain. Columbus is just an evil dickhead. Armstrong had aspirations that were just morally corrupt, but not necessarily in the wrong. I mean, Armstrong's aspirations were that you need to cause war in order to make money to get a country out of, like, issues. Which isn't necessarily wrong, it's just morally fucking shitty. Yeah, Columbus wants self-profit. Armstrong wants countrywide profit. He wants America to become the best country in the world again or something. I should stream that game. The game's super fucking fun. Abby as a villain. So this is Abby plus Rom, I should specify. Because Abby on her own is not a villain. This is Abby after the influence of Rom, so I am going to count Rom. And as such, I think she's high B. For having orchestrated the entirety of Salem and doing it in such a brilliant way. And the only reason why Abby didn't succeed. Excuse me, it's getting kind of late for me. The only reason why Abby didn't succeed is because we brought a Max Grailed Hercules with a Bond CE. Otherwise, she probably would have gone off. So, I don't know. Okay. Comma. I don't know. In terms of being a villain, Comma is odd to me. She did almost kill us. She had everything planned out. Her motivation is not the worst in the world. It's actually pretty okay. Yeah, I agree with that. She does the thing that Kiara does, but does it better, I would say. So I'm just gonna do this real quick. Like her whole goal is that she wants the entirety of humanity. She wants the human race to drown in their pleasures because she thinks that that's the best thing for them. And as such, she's willing to accommodate to it, and she doesn't understand that what she's doing is necessarily wrong. But I like the dynamic with her in the fact that she doesn't actually love anything. It's a really, really interesting way to throw that concept into disarray. And the way how she goes about doing that in FGO is fairly entertaining. I will say, though, the Oku event is a pain in the ass to play through. That event sucks. Okay. Koyanskaya. Mikon of Darkness. She's S tier. So, for spoiler-related reasons, I'll leave out what her genuine motivation is. But in terms of a villain, she is insane. In fact, I think I like her better than Bolt. No, I think Geisha's still better. But I like her better than the old man in terms of being a villain. She is a vile bitch. But the thing is, she is the epitome of you love to hate her. Because every situation that we're put in where we have to cooperate with her is gold. It's just straight up gold. Because they always write her. They write her perfectly. They put her into a situation where it's like, if you don't help me, everything is fucking shit. Everything goes to shit. But if you do end up helping me, I will do something for you in return. She doesn't just like act like a total dickhead where it's just like, yeah, you gotta serve me and do all this. She's not obnoxious with it. She's just like a horrible evil bitch, in which I mean she's a capitalist. She is the beast of consumption. She relies entirely on give and take, and she works absolutely to that end. Also, her Bond CE says that she reveres Hugh Hefner, I believe it is, as like the #1 best person on the planet, and for that she gets bumped up to S tier. And if you know what goes on with why she does what she does in the Tunguska event, and you get that far, that's another huge plus to her. Ivan isn't really a villain, he's a cool guy. I mean, Ivan is the villain of Lost Belt 1. He is the big bad. I mean, you could argue that Anastasia is as well, except she's not really that much of one, because she kind of sucks as a villain. Ivan. Yeah, he does encompass something that I do like a lot in a villain. I think he's A tier. He's probably about here. In that his whole deal is that he is just doing what he thinks is right for his people. But I want you to not forget the fact that what he did for his people was absolutely vile and heinous. I guess that does make him a good villain. He is just a straight up tyrant. Anastasia destroyed Chaldea. I haven't tried saving his world. Yeah. I don't know. Anastasia is not a good villain because she doesn't like have a personality. It is yeah, okay. I'll bite. He's S tier. He's good. Is he better than the? Yeah, he's better than the old man. Old man is pretty good. Hi, what do you think to start playing now? I'm sorry? Oh, just if you start playing FGO now, there's no better time to do it than the present. Especially with the Imaginary Scramble event coming along. You get some really good servants out of that gotcha.
Yay!
Beery Topo, thank you for the follow. Welcome. Hope that you enjoy your stay. Yeah, no. Ivan's cool. He's good. Moving on, we have Sutter. Mr. Sutter. He is very solidly B tier for me. he is pretty well written. His reveal is super well done. So you mean is still good to start playing now? Yes. No, that depends. Are you thinking about doing NA or JP? If you're gonna do NA, I would say yes, it's a good time. If you're gonna do JP, I'd say it's also a good time. It's a better time to start on NA, but if you're gonna start on JP, it's also not the worst time in the world for it, because they just let the all the imaginary scramble people are on right up there right now. Sooter's whole thing is that he's just kind of like he's the hidden evil for the whole Lost Belt. It's his reveal is super well done, but I just think that I don't know. I don't dig his motivation of just wanting to. He is just the Demon King. I am the all-powerful guy who's going to be destroying everything. He did plot everything as well, but like for as enormous and as incredible as his reveal were, I don't know. He's just kind of there at the end. Yeah, but I say that because he has such good build up in how they actually go about addressing him, I'm gonna keep him up there. He's pretty cool. Cedric to me is just a lunatic and crazed to her master. Yeah. Okay. Mothman. Genesee, for me, he isn't really a villain per se, but the removing calligraphy was a dick move. I think Mothman's probably the best written FGO villain. As of right now, I think that he's probably the best written one. Actually, I think it's hard to say. He to me is exactly like Ivan, except better. He's another one of the villains who's fighting with the express purpose of protecting his people and everything that he's worked for, but he's also just like an absolute Giga Chad. You know what I mean? Like he just how do I phrase this? See, this is why I need to actually like do a deep dive into what makes a good villain. I just don't have the time for it. He is an all-powerful being, and he knows he's an all-powerful being. He's honorable and he's respectable. You don't hate him. Like, you find out what he's doing, and you're like, oh, he's a bastard. Then he reveals why he's doing it all, and you're just like, oh. It's like, his motivation is hard to argue with. Like, the only reason why his world got pruned away was because it came to a standstill. But in a situation where he could, like, I don't know. How do I want to say this? It's really weird to phrase it. It's pretty young. I think it's either the 20s or the 20s or the 30s. He gives them the get wrecked pills. But yeah, I don't know. He's charismatic. I like him a lot. He pops off. His motivations are absolutely solid. He does everything right for his people. He does everything that he believes is right for his people. And he has no reason to believe otherwise because no one else could best him. No one could defeat him. Okay, let's talk about Karna. Not Karna, Arjuna Alter. You fucking suck as a villain. He's gonna be probably top of D. He has He's so bad. He's such a bad. I would argue that I think that Lost Belt 4 is the best written Lost Belt that I've read so far. But God, he fucking sucks dick as a villain, dude. He's awful. Yeah, I think he's gonna be top of D probably because of him being probably the best of the quote-unquote ever-looming threats. And he is an evil guy that has to fill a gap, but I do like how they did write him into the conclusion of Lost Belt 4. It's just, yeah, it's that's his one saving grace, is that he has the final fight with Karna. And they make it like an actual statement to like finish off a major plot point that they have in their stories. But by doing that, they just like had to make him God. And he's bad at being God. I don't like him. Speaking of characters that I think are horribly written, I despise Odysseus as a villain for Atlantis. Like, I don't know. He and Lancer Artoria are exactly the same in my mind, because they are both emotionless fucks. Yeah, exactly. You do. Yeah, that's also true. You fight everyone on this list except for him. He's such a boring character that you do fight him, don't you? Do you fight him, or does he just be like, oh no, you've bested us, and he just dies? I don't remember. He's that forgettable. Oh yeah, he has the enormous shoes to fill of being one of the most famous, if not the most famous Greek, no, I'd say one of, because I think Achilles is probably more famous than he is, but one of the most famous Greeks ever. And he's written as a robotic fucking, like, mathematician who's just like, analyze the water. We can't make sure that Caltea shows up. Look at me, I have sweet mechanical hands. I can chop off a French guy's head with it. Isn't that ironic because, you know, he's French? Yeah, that's funny. Get it? Guillotine? Fucking sucks and it's boring. He doesn't do anything. He's literally just... You could replace him with the Christine doll in Shinjuku. It would be the exact same story. Yeah, I'm not a fan. Don't like Odysseus. Woodman. I'm seeing S, obviously. S, yeah, he's S. He's right, for me, he's right under Geisha. I'm gonna move her higher. I like Koinyan a whole lot better as a villain than I like Geisha. Okay, so issue with your list there, Mock. Hector isn't Greek. Hector is, I believe, Turkish. Second, Achilles is... Like, the fact that there is something called the Achilles heel immediately makes Achilles probably number one. Hercules is number one because of Disney. Achilles is number two because of the Achilles tendon and the phrase the Achilles heel. And Odysseus is number three because every American, like, high school teaches the Odyssey. that's coming from someone who likes Troy, like not Troy, who likes Hector as a person in the stories.
Pain and suffering await you.
Hawaiian Train, thank you for the resub. 6 months. Screaming Daybit the VTuber put me in the S tier with the elephant Daybit. What happened? FGO game rate are getting low. Nah. People dislike or rate low FGO on the App Store because they're mad at the gacha. Yeah, Wodame's motivations are very, very well written. He is nearly, like someone said it earlier, he's practically identical to Geisha with just a different spin on it. I think Geisha's motivation is much more sound. I like the backstory behind Wodame a lot. I like how he became what he became. I like what he does in the story. I will say this. The reason why he is where he is right now, instead of being any higher, is because they had a lot of time to like build up and develop who he was as a character, and they just didn't do it. So the build into him being anything other than like, oh yeah, he's this all-powerful mage is almost non-existent. So for that, I'm going to dock him a couple of points beneath Geisha, but overall, he's still a super well-written character. I like him a lot. Zeus. How do we feel about Zeus? I know how I feel about Zeus, but how do y'all feel about Zeus? A, also S, A, C, I love Zeus. A, Zeus is pretty boring. S, A, boring. Yeah, he's B tier, low B for me. Yes, Gilgamesh is a horrible antagonist. They hate him as a villain. He's incredibly boring. Zeus doesn't do shit the entire time. He's just another character who's like the big Demon King thing. I'll give them props for him being, I think, the first Mad God character with a fairly decent reveal that like, oh, all of the other evil robot space gods are actually all under his control because he was just that much stronger than he was. Than they were. I like that reveal a lot, and I like the fact that he like is able to exert his power and shit. But overall, I think he's incredibly boring. He's not even B tier. This motherfucker's dropped down to like he's like here. He's just such a mediocre villain. And yes, he does get immediately outshined by Wodame. Right, so let me clarify that for you because you weren't here for that. Gilgamesh, Darnik, and Kirei are all from their own... They're all from their own original works. So Gilgamesh, Fate Stay Night, Darnik in Fate Apocrypha, and Kirei in Fate Zero. Yeah, no worries. Let me just clear that up for people who are like wondering, wait, why is Gil even on this list then? Yeah, that's why. Okay. Where would I rank Rasputin? Rasputin is just Kirei again. So wherever Kirei is on this list, that's where Rasputin is. Have I played Hollow... Wait, Fate HF. What? Is HF... You mean Hollow Atraxia? Oh, Heaven's Feel. No. I saw the anime for it. I didn't like it. I also just don't like Fate, Stay Night, any of them, for the most part. Anime is bad, it cuts so much stuff. Fair enough. Fate Khaled Kirei is best Kirei because Mapo Tofu. Yes. Okay. Do I need a reroll? No. I don't believe in rerolling. I believe in working with what you get. People will argue with me on that, though. Okay. Our final villain. The Gotcha. The Gotcha is the biggest villain in all of FGO. Ow. The Gotcha is an irredeemable, vile thing that it has. The reason why it's such a good villain is because it has real world consequences. You can lose your house because of the Gotcha. You could lose your mortgage. You could lose your family. Did you know that? You can go into massive debt because of the Gotcha. It's the true beast of humanity. It's the beast of want. It's the beast of desire. It's the beast of knowing that you're just that much closer. Did you know that 80% of gamblers give up right when they're about to hit it huge? 80% of them. It's a wild number. If they would just keep on going, if they would just keep on feeding that fire, they would be able to get what they wanted, right? But no. The Gotcha's like that, except at least with gambling, there's a chance that you can like get something physical in return. What the Gotcha has a tendency to do is it'll spit something out at you just for the express purpose of, you know, making you laugh. And the people who made the FGO Gotcha in particular are bastards. The fact that there are spooks in the Gotcha is a goddamn crime. The fact that there is double-sided stuff in the Gotcha is a goddamn crime. But do the developers of FGO care? Hell no. Those motherfuckers want your goddamn money. What do you get in return? Get some sexy-ass PNGs. Speaking of spooks... No, here's the thing though, and here is why the Gotcha is a great villain, is I hate it, but I keep coming back for it. It's so evil. We all hate it. We all despise the Gotcha. But does that mean you're gonna stop rolling for things? Hell no, you're gonna keep on rolling. Oh yeah, yesterday I got spooked by Ozzy. On the banner with the hot assassin lady instead I got Ozymandias. That's okay, Ozzy's a good servant. Kind of like an ex that wants to get back together then breaks up with you again. Yeah. Except that ex is not an ex, it's just a prostitute. You know what, that's actually a really, really good analysis for it. The Gotcha is like a prostitute. You get that momentary satisfaction of being like, yes, I got something. And even if it's like a really, really good one, and you do get something out of it, at the end of the day, what you got wasn't really worth the money. And, you know, sometimes, like, you get things that you really don't want after stuff like that. You get diseases. Like, losing your house, or your wife gets mad at you, or you can't afford Christmas gifts all of a sudden, or you keep on rolling for Summer Nero and you never get Summer Nero because the fucking gacha exists and it doesn't like the fact that you want Summer Nero. It gives you fucking Helena Blavatsky, though, that's for damn sure. Anyway, I'm not mad about that. Hookers cost less than the gacha. Oh no, there's no hard feelings at all. Trust me, there's nothing wrong with that. No, there is pity. There is pity now. That is false. There is a pity system. It's a disgusting pity system, but it is a pity system. Oh yeah, trust me. Maybe if the gacha wouldn't throw lizards at me, I would feel better about it. But no, across space and time, across platforms, across devices, it somehow manages to throw the same Bulgarian lizard at me. I have Summer Nero. I do. I do have Summer Nero. The lizard is inevitable. I don't want to talk about it. I need to go to bed. That's your list. Is there any corrections that we need to make? Oh, no, if you want to talk about gacha curses, go back and watch on YouTube my Castoria rolls, because that was a real curse. But before you do that, make Mev S. No. Still no. You can highlight that, but no. Moriarty not an S. Disagree. I have more respect for Moriarty than most of the people on this list in terms of being a villain. I will say, Moriarty as a villain or as like a character, nah, that's not true. I was gonna say he kind of falls off, but he doesn't. He's pretty consistently really well written for no reason. I like it. The anti-servants love me for some reason. Always get them on the first 30. Other than that, my luck is shit. Look, okay, so I'm with you there. I totally agree with you on that because I have the exact same luck on my free-to-play account that's on my iPad. On my main account, the one that I actually play and do stuff with, I can't get servants to save my life. I can't get rate up servants. I do not think I have had any anniversary servants until this year. So who are the anniversary servants? It's, I think Sherlock was one. Don't have Sherlock. I think Da Vinci was one as well. I got Da Vinci when I first started the game in 2017. 2018, 2017, one of those. Sherlock, Scotty, Vinci Ryder. I got Vinci Ryder and Castoria within a month of each other this year. Yeah. All right, that's it. We're gonna wrap this up. This is your list, ladies and gentlemen, your definitive FGO villain tier list. This is going to be going up on YouTube, so say hi to YouTube. We are going to roll the credits right now. Let's start off with Drink Beer TV for the follow, Ultima 3 the Catboy for the follow. A Roranoa for the 95 bits. The lovely Rose 18 for the follow. Pat 58152 for the follow. Beery Topo for the follow. Hawaiian Train for the resub for 6 months. Let me see if this command works. I didn't change it, so it should. Doesn't work. Love that. Thank you, Wisebot. Since the Discord link doesn't want to drop here, it is attached to all of my YouTube videos. So, what if does this work? No, cool, love that. Anyway, we're gonna wrap it up there. Y'all have a fantastic rest of your morning, evening, or night. It's currently 9:45 for me. I'm gonna be uploading this VOD immediately, so look for it on YouTube if you like to go back and review anything that I said. But for now, all y'all have a fantastic rest of your night, day, whatever. Peace out.